The Premier League is back. Yes, I know the predictions may be a little bit crazy, but here we go. 25-26 Premier League predictions. Now, a few little things here. Disclaimer, if you don't like my opinion, that's up to you. This is based purely on what I think could happen next season, and because I'm pretty terrible at predicting, get ready for some crazy takes. So without further ado, the 25-26 Premier League season, let's begin our predictions. Now, let's start off by talking about the bottom three. The three that will go down next season. Now, in 20th place, I put Burnley. Now, I'm sure that comes without any shock to anybody. I think Scott Parker's football is boring. We've lost James Trafford. Again, it's the typical story of Burnley. They come up, then they'll probably go straight back down like they have the last few seasons. And yet, it always starts off confident. Oh, we got a good manager this time. Like Vincent Kompany, who went down straight away. And I just feel like it's coming, and we all know it. Burnley, I'm sorry, 20th place, Burnley. Now we move on to 19th. Now this is really, really tough because I think this could be anyone. Call me crazy, but I'm pitting Wolves. Yep, you heard me right. Now Wolverhampton Wanderers have been in the Prem for countless seasons now since they got promoted, I believe in 2018 or 2019. I'm going to have to fact check that. But anyway, they've been in the league for so long now. And I just feel like they're one of those teams which have really overstayed, like they're overdue their stay. And I think this is the year they finally go down. Last year they got saved by this guy, Vitor Pereira, but now I feel like they've lost Cunha, they've lost Aït-Nouri, they haven't really replaced players well. The transfer business has been poor, and I mean, last season was a glimmer of hope before they lost nearly half their squad. But yeah, I'm sorry Wolves, 19th place. Now a final relegation spot in 18th, Leeds. Wow, okay, so I feel like Leeds is a bit of an odd one. They've got talent such as Nonso and all that lot, but at the same time, the Premier League is a lot harder than the Championship. Yes, they walked the Championship last season, but that doesn't mean anything. Daniel Farke, I wouldn't really call him a proven Premier League manager, considering every time he was in the Premier League he got relegated. But I mean, I feel like Leeds have a chance, a very slim chance, but I think they might stay up. It's going to be close, but that's why I still believe they will get relegated next season. Leeds will finish 18th. Now, let's move on to the team that I think will stay up. Surprise. Now, a lot of people are already doubting them. I'm going Sunderland. Their transfer business has been good. They just signed Granit Xhaka. Yes, they lost Jude Bellingham, but a player like Granit Xhaka is a great addition. They've been active in the market, as you can see here. The list of the players they've been signing. They've not really lost too many assets. It's a good team, and I just feel like they can use the Stadium of Light, a fortress, to defend wins, to get wins, and I think they will end up staying up this season. It will be close, but I think they'll stay up on the last day. Sunderland, 17th. Now, in 16th, I've gone West Ham. Right, West Ham, ever since winning the Conference League, have kind of been on a downward spiral down the table, and last season was kind of like the limit I think they hit. And will they have as bad of a season as last year? Yes. Even if they do get Fabio Vieira, which we don't know at the moment, but it's going to be weird for West Ham next season. I think they're going to sack Graham Potter mid-season, and I think they're going to just replace him with someone random like they always do, and it goes wrong. West Ham squad will underachieve again, and I just feel like they're going to lose more players out of it. They've lost Kudus. Players are running out of patience at West Ham, and if they're not careful, I think they could be in trouble next season. But I'm standing by 16th for West Ham next year. In 15th, we have Everton. Yes, Everton. Now, I feel like Everton are kind of a weird one because, yes, they stay up like they always do, but at the same time, new stadium, again, a pretty boring window from Everton. They've just been smashed 3-0 by Bournemouth in the summer series. I think David Moyes is experienced enough to keep Everton up, and once again, Everton will stay up quite narrowly. And it's going to be odds for next season. Everton are just going to be a mediocre mid-table team, I think. In 14th, I have gone Fulham. Yes, Fulham. And I feel like the thing is with Fulham next season is I feel like, again, it's been another team who's, I think, they're overdue their stay in the Premier League. But at the same time, they're too good to go down. Give this man, Marco Silva, a medal. Work he has done keeping Fulham and turning them into a solid mid-table team, which pushes up higher mid-end of the table, is incredible. But again, I feel like they will slip next season. And again, I think we'll notice that slip. Could Marco Silva leave potentially to go to a more superior club? Maybe. They've got a good enough team, especially if they get more talent, more players in. I know they're linked to Reece Nelson, I'll cover that in next week's AFC Transfer Weekly, by the way. But yeah, I think Fulham mediocre. 13th place, sorted. Now, in 13th, we have Brentford. Now, I know, if you guys would have watched this video, I said Brentford were in trouble, and I still kind of stand by it. But at the same time, I feel like Brentford will stay up. I'm going a little bit back on my words, and I feel like Brentford will stay up. Again, we don't know what this Keith Andrews guy is going to be like, but at the same time, it's going to be, I think, mediocre, but I think they'll stay up. I think Kelleher, again, is going to add some solid goalkeeper. He's going to be a solid goalkeeper after we lost Mark Flecken. I think Brentford will just stay up. Would Keith Andrews get replaced? Maybe. But at the same time, as long as they just get it right, I think they'll stay up next season. So yeah, I can see Brentford coming 13th next year. Now, in 12th, I am going Crystal Palace. Now, off the back of an iconic FA Cup win, they're going to be in the Conference League. It's European football. I think it will take their mind slightly off the Premier League to focus on European football. Conference League, what happened with Europa League was wrong. They should be in Europa League. They got demoted to the Conference League. And again, I feel like they're going to focus on that next season. There's a chance to get silverware, considering the talent in the Conference League is horrific. But yeah, I feel like Palace will just come 12th next season, mid-table. They don't really do much in the Prem. They're kind of just there. But in Cups, I think that's where Oliver Glasner's Crystal Palace will shine. Again, I think, let's be honest, he's coming to Arsenal. I can just see him coming to Arsenal. But I feel like Palace will get the money to replace him. And, they're interested in a couple of players at the moment. They haven't been too crazy in the window. But again, this is basically August now, things can change. Now, in 11th, I am going Brighton. Yes, Brighton have gone from challenging for maybe lower European spots, and I think they're just going to sink to mid-table. They've lost players badly in this window, and again, how they've managed to keep Matoma, well, for now, is incredible. I feel like Fabian Hurtzler is a good, solid manager, and he'll help Brighton stay up, clearly. I think they'll just push for a solid mid-table next season, and potentially look on laying the foundations for more players next season. See them coming 11th next year. Simple as that. In 10th, I'm going to go for Nottingham Forest. Now, they've been promoted to the Europa League after the whole scandal with Palace and all that. Now, I think it's going to be odd next season for Nottingham Forest, obviously back in Europe for the first time in God knows how long. And again, I think it will be a similar story to Crystal Palace, both in Europe. Both want to have a little shot at it. I think, again, they've lost Elanga, but they've somehow kept Gibbs White, and it's mad how they've managed to do this. But at the same time, again, I feel like Forest will have a good season next season in some cups. Europa League, maybe a amazing Europa League run. But again, I think it will be mediocre in the Prem, mid-table, solid from Forest. That's why I have Forest in 10th place. In 9th, I have Bournemouth. Yes, Bournemouth, they will finish up higher end of the mid-table next season. Again, Bournemouth are a solid team. Yes, their whole defence is basically been raided by the big clubs this summer, but at the same time, I feel like they're going to recover. They always seem to do, and people say, their stay's overdue, and I feel like it is, but they've established themselves now. This Iraola guy is a solid manager. They still have the talent there for now, and I feel like they will always find a way to replace these players. Next season will be amazing from Bournemouth again. I can see them maybe trying for a cup next season, but at the same time, a solid high-end 9th place finish in the top 10, that is very good for Bournemouth next season. Now in 8th, this is kind of a crazy take. Now I know all these Man United fans are going to be really like, this guy's delusional. And yes, I know, I kind of am delusional. But I'm going Man United to come 8th. Now I know, before all you Man United fans come and say, you're an idiot, again, I can just see it happening. Yes, they signed Cunha. Yes, they signed Mbeumo. But their back line's going to let them down again. It always happens, Man United always focus on one area of the team while the other two areas of the team are horrible. This season was the worst season in Man United's modern history, coming 15th, and they lost a Europa League final on top of that. Now, Man United need a good year this year, because after 22-23, they looked on such a high. It was their time to capitalise. Top 3, brilliant. FA Cup, the next year. Then you would have thought, okay, surely they continue to capitalise. No, they came 15th. It was a car crash of a season last year. It was a horrible season for Man United last year. And this season will be an improvement. Amorim will start to get things right. But Man United need to wait now. It's going to be a long, long road ahead of them. And I can just see them coming 8th. It's going to be tough next season. But I think they will secure 8th. And now in 7th. Here we go again. A lot of rival fans are going to say, you're an idiot. Tottenham are going to come 7th next year. Now, these two had horrible seasons last year. Yes, Tottenham got saved by the Europa League a bit. But at the same time, Tottenham will have a terrible Champions League campaign. as expected, like they always do. And Thomas Frank, I think will keep his job for this season. Usually Tottenham get fed up with a manager by January, but they'll keep Thomas Frank. And I think they'll get 7th, which I believe is Conference League. So we'll put them in the Conference League, give them a chance to have a shot at it, even though they came 3rd last time. But again, I feel like next season we'll be back to the same old mediocre Tottenham team, and they'll come 7th. They'll just struggle overall. And again, they'll have a great start to the season. The fans will be like, yay! And then they'll have a terrible end, like they always do. Now, in 6th place, I am going Newcastle. Yes, now, they got top 5 last season, which meant they got UCL football. And they're going to narrowly miss out on UCL football this year, because they're back in the Champions League. And again, I've already made a video on why I think Newcastle are in trouble next season. Yes, they're about to sign Ramsdale. Yes, they've had a decent window. But they've lost all these targets. They've been snubbed by João Pedro and Buemo, all these players. And I just feel like every time when they get in the Champions League, the season after that seems to be really bad. Or I don't think this season was going to be bad. But I do think Newcastle, especially if they lose Isak, just won't be able to push for Champions League next year. I think they'll get Europa League, and I think they'll have a chance of winning it as well. Now, in 5th, I'm going Aston Villa. Now, Aston Villa, heartbreak for them last season as they narrowly missed out on UCL football back-to-back. But this man is a genius. Unai Emery has turned Aston Villa from a mid-table team to challengers for top 4, or top 5, whatever you want to call it nowadays. But I feel like next season, they're going to have a good year. Now, if they keep on with a top 5 thing for the Champions League, they will get Champions League. Europa League, I think they'll get far better, but I don't think they'll win it, though. I feel like that Aston Villa team is very good still. And again, as long as they keep Watkins and Martinez and the foundations and the heart of that team, Aston Villa will do well again next year. Now, the top 4 spots. Now, I feel like this is the easiest part of the predictions, because I think these 4 teams are so much farther ahead than the others. In 4th, we have Chelsea. And I feel like Chelsea have been very good this window. They've not gone crazy like they have recently, like previous years. I think Chelsea will come 4th. We'll have a okay Champions League campaign. We'll probably get to the round of 32 or something, like the playoffs or whatever they're called nowadays. I think they'll fumble. I feel like I cannot see them doing much in Europe, but in the Prem, I can see them coming 4th and maybe going on a cup run as well. Chelsea will have a good season next year. Enzo Maresca, Chelsea fans, you need to trust this man. He will get them 4th next year. Now on to the top 3. In 3rd, Manchester City. Now, Man City last season was terrible, basically. Yes, they come 3rd. But that run from October to December was one of the worst in the club's history. The club just imploded, and we don't know how. Like, it was just one bad result after another. Now, yes, they've had a good market. Yes, they've been good in the market. Yes, they are doing well. But at the same time, Cherki, Aït-Nouri, Reijnders, they're good signings, but they're not league winners. Now, I hope this doesn't come back to haunt me, but I just cannot see Man City without De Bruyne next season doing great. They'll have a decent run in the UCL. They'll probably win a trophy. I think they could win a cup competition. But in the league, I think they will come home to 3rd. Now, 2nd. Now, I'm going to get people saying, oh, you're delusional. But Liverpool will come 2nd. Now, here's my reasoning. They've had a very good window. They spent bucket load of money. But at the same time, how many super teams have we seen flop before? Take a look at Real Madrid last year. I feel like if it works, it works. That pre-season friendly against AC Milan, Liverpool were terrible. They will come very close. It will be one of the best title fights we've had in years. And I think they could win the Champions League as well. But in the Prem, I feel like the winners of the Prem are going to be Arsenal. Now, I know everyone's going to say, oh, you're delusional. But at the same time, we had a great window. We had great players. We finally have that striker in Victor Gyökeres. One of the best strikers in the world, by the way. And if we get Eze, oh my gosh, just give us the title now if we get Eze. Like, it's going to be close, but I think we will finally win the league next season. And it's going to be thrilling. There we go, guys. That is my Premier League predictions. Now, again, this is my own opinion, so it's up to you guys what you think. Let me know down in the comments below. This is the longest video I've ever made as well. But also, I just want to announce something. I am going to be doing match day predictions now for every single match day, so check that out. Have a great day, and we'll see you next time. Bye, guys.